What's up? What's up? We are back already. And I forget the perspective that you guys lack, but we are doing some bonus driving today. Driving to another facility. And so I figured, what the heck? I will film another video while I drive to another facility. And so I should just name this channel The Commuter's Journey or something like that. I've never actually been to this facility before, and I kind of have to pee, and I have 30 minutes to get there, and it's 30 minutes away, so that's stressful. I am not great with directions and with driving, and directionally challenged is the phrase that I like to use for myself. So we'll see if I have some sort of super awesome mental breakdown while I'm filming this video with you guys. But at any rate, it's a double feature today, which is going to be that I'll probably film my way back as well. And basically anytime I'm driving somewhere, it's just the perfect time to turn on the camera and talk to y'all, because like, what else would I be doing? Normally I would be listening to music, and I have what I consider to be a pretty chronic addiction to music, in that if I don't have it playing in the background,
head south toward Virginia Avenue, then turn left onto Virginia Avenue.
Thank you. But
in 500 feet, turn left onto General Outers Drive, Monk Drive.
I'm still in the parking structure, so calm down there, Siri. Oh, she's getting mad at me again. Anywho, I don't even remember what I was saying now. She done derailed my thought process. Yep, I know.
Head east toward Virginia Avenue.
We're getting there. You just gotta let me get out of the parking structure, girl. Anywho, yes, directions and me do not get along. And then I gotta pee, and like I said, I'm on the hook for this. We left not as soon as I would have preferred that we leave, and then we weren't carpooling.
Feet, turn right onto Virginia Avenue,
which I guess makes sense because they aren't coming back to the hospital and I am. But at any rate, we'll just see how this goes. But no, I was talking to about my addiction to music. That's what I was talking to y'all about. And so essentially, like, if there's not music playing, then I just feel like something's not quite right. And we're gonna turn left here. I don't normally turn left here, but we're gonna turn left here.
In 800 feet, turn left onto General Outers Drive, Monk Drive.
What is it wanting me to do? It's so confusing. Like, we're just gonna get on the highway.
In 400 feet, turn right onto Hospital Drive.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Turn right onto Hospital Drive, then slide right.
Okay, all right. Right, and then right again. Double right. It's like a cheat code in a video game. Right. And you just unlocked the new destination of your dreams.
Take the next right toward Missouri 763 South, then turn right onto Missouri 763 South.
All right, I will do that just for you. And we will be on our way.
Turn right onto Missouri 763 South.
I'm getting there. So, at any rate, I at least
in 800 feet, turn left onto Missouri 740 East.
The general vicinity of where I need to go and what I need to do. And
turn left onto Missouri 740 East.
We're gonna get there. So it probably won't be until like I get on the highway that I can actually conduct a conversation with you guys, because she's going to keep interrupting us as she gives me directions through town. But I will certainly try and have a conversation with y'all in between her incessant directions. Keep going back to that music addiction that I have, and it's more or less, I feel like, an addiction to sound.
Continue on Missouri 740 East for 1.5 miles.
All right. I feel like it's more or less like an addiction just to sound. Like, I don't like silence. I don't deal well with silence very well. And so that is how I feel usually when I'm driving and stuff, I always have music playing in the background. But now that I have built this new habit of talking to you all while I'm driving, it has almost kind of replaced music. Like when I was talking about doing this drive, I was like, oh goody, I'll get to put my music on and I'll just kind of lose myself to the music. And then I was like, oh wait, I could film another video. And like when your goal is 365 videos, or yeah, 365 videos, a video a day, like any opportunity I have to film another video, I should really capitalize on. And so that's what I did. I'm like, I'm gonna have to drive, and anytime that I'm behind this wheel, I'm gonna fire that camera up, and we're gonna have a good old-fashioned conversation. And it's gonna be like half an hour
In
before.
half a mile, turn right onto the US 63 South ramp to Jefferson City.
We'll do it. But when it's going to be like a good like 30 minutes before I get to where I'm going, so we're going to have a good time for some good time conversations. And I feel really lucky that I have a job.
Turn right onto the US 63 South ramp, then merge onto US 63 South.
I'm gonna do it. I promise you I'm gonna do it, girl. But yeah, I'm going to a job where you can travel from place to place, and like they're cool with that. Like this is gonna be a nice day where I get to go visit a facility I've not been to before, and eventually have some sort of authority in that facility. And so yeah, we are on the highway. I think I don't have to worry about you guys or her for a little while. I can't really see what you guys see. I don't know if you have good view or not, because there's a glare from the sun. I'm not used to driving when the sun is this bright, and so it's hard for me to figure out if the camera angle is good or not. So I really hope you guys can see some good stuff, and if you can't, I apologize in advance. That's kind of the game that we play when we do footage in a car like this. My setup is quite literally, I have you guys on a tripod in my passenger side seat, and I'm using the passenger side seat to prop up the tripod. So like it's leaned this away so much so that I can get you guys a good view on what is going on. But at any rate, when we get closer to our destination, I'll probably be focusing more on trying to figure out where I'm going. Like I said, I get very nervous behind the wheel, and I know the area of where I'm going well enough, but I'm not super comfortable there. So if I get all quiet, just know that I am super focused on trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing and where the heck I'm going. But until then, we're gonna scale the highway miles together and kind of talk about life and love and all the stuff. I usually don't talk about life well, no, I talk about life quite a bit. I don't talk about love all that often. It's not something that frequently crosses the mind. And so, like, yeah, I was watching this video yesterday about like sex education, if you will. I don't know if sex education is the right way to put it, or if it's more or less just like the idea of how like sex is treated over the years. But essentially, like, they were talking about how young like birth control is, and the idea that like we don't really realize how much birth control, like how much it's changed the world. Like, it came to be in the 1960s, which was roughly 50 some odd years ago, and we're still like adjusting to how that's affected our society some 50 some odd years later. Like, and in the grand scheme of time, 50 years is like a blink. And so honestly, like, when you start talking about like how long it's been around, it's still had a major impact on our society. And like, because essentially before that it was used for procreation, and that was it. Like, people didn't have a lot of like recreational sex back then because there was consequences for it. Like, if you did it, you had a child. And I would be interested in, though, because I'm not any sort of like historian in the art of sex or anything, but I would be interested in figuring out whether or not like, were condoms a thing before birth control? Because if that was the case, then like surely people were still having recreational sex. They just, I don't know, it was different. So at any rate, that's what he was talking about, and he was talking about how that has affected how we view things and how it's affected how like we interact with each other as couples and all of those sorts of things. And like recreational sex has never really been that big of a deal for me. I never really participated in it. I hardly do. My thought process on the matter was like it's a tool that was to be used for reproduction. Like that's why we did it. Like when you go back to bare bones, us as cave people, like you would have sex to reproduce. You wouldn't necessarily have it just for the sake of having it. And I think now that we have the ability to have it just for the sake of having it, it's creating more problems than it's worth necessarily. And like I know this is a huge controversial topic because so many people like their lives run on that. And I'm not saying that I'm against that or that they're bad people for that. I'm just saying that it's a survival tool that humanity was using to keep the human race going. But in so many different ways, we have conquered the survival game. Like, we aren't battling for survival anymore. We used to battle for survival. That used to be a really big thing that we had to do. But that's not so much the case anymore. And so, for us as people to have conquered that, we're now using these tools that should be for survival. We're using them just for our own recreational purposes. And that is where I think we start running into a problem. My mic is in another spot that's kind of annoying me. I don't like this jacket with this microphone because there's no nice way to put it. I don't know if you guys can even hear me now because the microphone's way far away from my face. So if I need to find a better place for the microphone, let me put it on like my collar or something, because that would be less detrimental, I feel. All right, let's see how that sounds. Does that sound better? I hope it sounds better, guys. Anyway, talk about just the survival of things, and that these tools that used to be only used to further our survival are now being used recreationally, and how dangerous that is. Like, people talk about the dopamine hit that we get from social medias and all these things that are designed to play off of our dopamines, and just how dangerous it is that we have these things. And so why is it that like we're against all of these bad dopamine hits, but we're okay with people having recreational sex? Like, and I think it's acceptable because it's like a natural thing, like people do it. And like I said, I'm not saying it's unacceptable and that we shouldn't, but it is like another way to abuse the dopamine. Like, back once upon a time, we used to only use it for the idea of reproduction. And it's like, if you were guaranteed to have a kid every time you had sex, I'm willing to bet you probably did it a lot less often than people do now. And like, a lot of people are doing it with people they don't have like a strong connection with, and that's another like controversial thing. Like, it used to be only people with like the strongest of connections were the ones that were out there doing that, and now it's just kind of anybody on the fly. And that kind of attitude towards sex is frowned upon, but I mean, societal expectations of people is really only such a powerful tool. Like, I am the kind of person who's like, I'm not going to let society or society's expectations of me dictate what I can and cannot do. And like, so any of those people are going to very well be the same way. And there's no sense in us trying to pretend like just because something is taboo by society's standards doesn't mean we're not going to do it. And so it's just interesting to me that certain things are viewed and frowned upon, where certain things are not viewed and frowned upon. And it's not a perspective that you hear a lot about. Like, people don't talk about sex being a bad thing, hardly. Like, I mean, it's this weird thing. It's not great. Like, you don't want a whole bunch of underage children going around and doing it, but you also don't want, it's not that frowned upon for adults to be going around and doing it. But when you look at like life pre-birth control, like, was it more of a more of a survival-based task. And not survival, because like in the 60s, we still were doing pretty good on the battle of survival. But you start talking about like the modern age, and especially in the 21st century, like I feel like we have beaten that game of survival, and now we are just mastering how we can survive within that game. I need to use the restroom, so I think I am going to stop off at a gas station real quick and use the restroom, because I don't want to be driving in unfamiliar territory and have to pee. That just does not sound fun. So I will probably turn off the cam when I park it, and then I will turn it back on when I get back to you guys. I know I left it on when I went to the gas station this morning, but like I still feel weird like if people are walking by and they're like, oh my gosh, that guy's got a camera, what's he recording? And I haven't quite gotten comfortable with cameras in public yet, and a lot of people are more comfortable with that, and that is their Siri's gonna start yelling at me.
In 500 feet at the traffic circle, take the second exit.
I know. I got pee, Siri, and then I will be back on course, I promise. But
exit the traffic circle, then slide right onto US 63 South.
Not quite, Siri, not quite. I got pee, girl.
In 800 feet at the traffic circle, take the fourth exit and stay on East Broadway.
Well, I will do that.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Tandy Street.
It just wants me to do all the lefts and the rights, and she's like losing her mind. Girl, calm down. I just gotta use the potty, and then we'll be back on track. So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and stop the recording now, and then we can resume when I come back. Alrighty then, welcome back. We are fully recharged and ready to go. I have washed my hands, unlike the other gentleman in the stall who just left with dirty, nasty, grimy hands. Gotta love people. I don't know why so many people in this world feel like they're above washing their hands, but it is a chronic issue that we have here. And like, it's just weird. It's like, can't even wrap my head around it. Girl, she's gonna start yelling at me
right
again.
onto East Broadway.
I'm doing it. Who's calling me? Somebody's calling me. Yeah, Stephanie? I am driving to Jeff City, but what's up?
In 150 feet at the traffic circle, take the first exit.
Sorry. Yeah?
Exit the traffic circle, then slide right onto US 63 South.
I know that it got held for approvals. I thought John had approved it, though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll obviously I can't do that right now because I don't have a computer in front of me, but when I get back in the office, I can check on the order. Like I said, I thought it got pinged for approval already, and so if it got approved, unless the PO hasn't generated, because you probably won't see it till the PO generates, and like I placed the rec got approved, but maybe the buyer hasn't generated a PO yet, so that you haven't seen it come through. That would be my guess as to why we haven't seen it yet. Right, yeah, absolutely. So, I will. All right, very good. Thank you. Bye. All right. Nothing like a good old-fashioned business call. I don't know. Should I keep that in or should I remove it? I'll keep it in this time maybe, and you guys tell me like, business calls are boring. Don't keep them in on your videos, or maybe you're like, nah, it was a welcome change of pace. We like business calls. I don't know. Unfortunately, she derailed my train of thought, and I don't remember what I was talking to you guys about, but that's okay because we can always find something to talk about. So, going to this facility here on kind of the other side of town. Well, it's not even the other side of town, it's in a different town entirely. And this is my first time going over there. And there's been a lot of like communication between our facilities, and being the person that I am, like I should be included on these conversations. So I'm surprised that it has not already happened. But today is the fateful day in which I get included on the conversations. And so I'm ready for that. I'm ready to start expanding my knowledge base, expanding my horizons, and understanding a different facility. And that honestly is what kind of excites me. Like, my career in this environment so far has been tackling broken things and fixing them. And so at some point in time, I'm going to reach a point where, like, the broken thing that I'm working on right now is very fresh and very broken still. And I've only just been doing it since August. And eventually I will reach the point where it's fixed and it's functioning and we're doing well, and then I can move on to the next broken thing. And so I'm always looking ahead at what that next thing will be for me, and I'm wondering if it will be this facility here. And like, because it's interesting how things happen and how things kind of pan out, in that I was looking, I'm going to be way late for this meeting. I've got 4 minutes to show up on time, and I'm still on the highway. But at any rate, that's just disheartening. See, if it were me, this is why I hate this. If it were me, I would have left at 9 o'clock, and I should have left at 9 o'clock. I hate being late, and punctuality is a big deal for me. And now, when I'm stuck in Jeff City, unfamiliar territory, I'm going to be rushed and stressed out, and it's going to be a miserable, awful experience, and I'm going to be mad at myself the whole time. And it just goes to show you, like, you should know your own comfort level. And if you want to leave on time for something, you should leave when you think that you need to leave. And like, I trusted this person's judgment when they were like, oh, it's like 20 minutes away. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. How could it be 20 minutes away when from my house to my work is 20 minutes, and that's like my house is halfway between where I work and the new facility. So just by logics, it should be 40 minutes. And it probably will be closer to 40 minutes by the time I get there. And I should have left earlier. So mad at myself. They're going to be calling me and they're going to be like, where are you at? Oh my gosh, you're not here. They're like, yeah, I'm driving. I'm trying. I ain't speeding like a madman. Driving is a very careful, well thought out thing for me. I don't just drive and try and get there in no time at all. And it's just, I hate it. I should have left at 9 a.m. Next time I'm leaving for something, and for those of you who are loyal, awesome viewers, if I'm leaving for something and I tell you guys I'm leaving, make sure that I'm leaving at the time that I said I'm leaving at, and that I'm not letting other people drag that out, because now I'm all stressed out and lame. But at any rate, going back to work and the natural progression thereof, so I'm always looking for the next broken thing for me to tackle. Like, what is the next thing that they're going to want me to attack? Because eventually, like, things will get better where I am now, and they will get better because of the actions that I have taken and the things that I have done. And when you get to that point, it's like, okay, like, what is next for me? And that is almost the exact thing that happened here at when I took over the warehouse. So it was in shambles when I got there. It was the one supervisor role that no one in the department wanted. Everyone was like, ugh, I don't want anything to do with that. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm young, I'm hungry, and I want a promotion, and I don't think it's that bad at the warehouse. So I went there, and I turned that ship around and made it into a very awesome functioning facility, cleaned it up. It was in gnarly shape when I found it, and I made something out of it, and I gave them structure, I gave them quality work, I gave them all sorts of stuff. And then as I was doing that, this whole business with the OR kind of came up, and I became almost like sideways involved in it. Like, I was involved with it, but I wasn't knee deep in it just then. And I slowly but surely started getting deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And part of that deepness, if you will, came from the idea that I was being promised a promotion, and so I was doing everything in my power to earn said promotion. And then things didn't pan out, and I wound up going back to the supervisor role that I had before, which was by no means the end of the world. Like, I wasn't mad to have gone back to where I was. I was, if nothing else, slightly disappointed, obviously. Like, when you're being told that you're going to get X and you get Y instead, or you don't get anything, that's not something that you want to hear. And it goes back to like the promises that you make as a writer. Like, if I'm writing a book and I promise it's going to be about ghosts and there's no ghosts in it, then you've not let up your promise. And it's the very same thing with life. Like, if someone's like, yeah, there's absolutely the need to have a manager here and you would be the perfect fit for that role, and so you're like, all right, let's go, and then it doesn't work out, like, yeah, it's like a kick in the shins. So I was back in my supervisor role, still very involved with the OR side of things, but not as much as I was or could have been or maybe should have been. And I reached a point, oh, there's my ringtone. I reached a point in my work where everything was just going smoothly. Everything was going very smoothly, and my day-to-day work in that position was very smooth, and there was no bumps in the road, no anything. And so with that being said, I at that point wanted something more. And like, I fully understand why people like to have a job where like things are mundane and you know everything like the back of your hand, and like that's a job that I want to settle in. Like, when I get older and I'm no longer interested in chasing the money, I'm no longer interested in climbing the ladder, I just want to be where I am and settle down. Like, I will want to have found a department like that for me, where I can just chill out, do my thing Monday through Friday, and go home, and there's no questions that anyone could ask me that I don't already know the answer to. So that's like, I can recognize that as future state, but that's not where I am present tense. I'm still young, I'm still hungry, and I still want more. And so I'm going to continue to pursue more until I get more. And that is like where I am with life. And so it's always nice, going back to where I started this conversation, it's always nice to have that kind of perspective, and to be, like I said, looking out for the next thing. Like, okay, I can acknowledge the fact that I want more, and I can acknowledge the fact that this will get better, and I will get to a point where I am just as calm in this environment as I was before. In half a mile,
use the right lane to take the US 54 West, US 63 ramp to Jefferson City.
Got it, thank you. And so, what I'm getting at is that eventually I will reach that point. And like, even just in what few months I've been in this role.
Use the right lane to take the US 54 West ramp.
Got it. In what few months, she's going to remind me one more time, I bet you. Watch it. She's going to say it one more time, so I shouldn't even try and finish this thought. Well, we're turning, and she's not saying it. We're turning, and she's not saying it. You silly goose. All right, fine. But this is kind of the part where I need to start paying attention to where I'm going, because we are entering forbidden territory. Not forbidden territory, but foreign territory. And so I will probably quiet down a little bit and be staring at my phone a whole bunch and stressing out like a madman trying to figure out where I'm going. So, bear with me, and if this is boring, call me out and say, hey, the next time you get lost, don't feel
In 2 miles, take the Jefferson Street exit towards Stadium Drive.
What? Is it this one? I think so. See, I'm already lost. Nope.
In 500 feet, keep right at the fork. Follow signs for Jefferson City. Keep right at the fork, then make a U-turn.
Keep right at the fork and then make a U-turn? Well, that's rude. Hello? No, I'm not there yet.
Make a U-turn.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out how to get there. I also stopped for to use the restroom, and I think that killed my time. I was like, I wanted to leave at 9 o'clock, and I was like, gosh darn it, I should have left at 9 o'clock, because now I'm all stressed out, because like, I don't know where I'm going.
800 feet, turn left onto the ramp to US 54 West.
Kind of in the right spot.
Turn left onto the ramp to US 54 West, then merge onto US 54 West.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find my way through Jeff City. And yeah, I took some weird turn, and it was like, that's the wrong turn, you big dummy. And I was like, oh, what the hay is for horses you talking about? So, all right, cool. I am inbound. I am in Jeff City to give you a rough estimate of my time of arrival. All right. All right, cool. I will continue on. All right. Oh, okay, lovely. All right, sweet. Thanks. Bye. That was my boss, wondering where I am. I wanted to leave at 9 o'clock, darn it. Well, and now this thing's telling me all sorts of confusing
In 2 miles, take the Jefferson Street exit towards Stadium Drive.
Take the Jefferson Street exit towards Stadium Drive. I think I'm in the right place for now. Stadium Drive is what I'm looking for. So, yeah. Did I already tell you guys that was my boss? That was my boss wondering where I was. And this is me telling him where I was. Or, that was me telling him where I was. I am on my way. I don't know how far away I am. I might be super far. I might be super close. I do not do good with directions and foreign territories. And I've driven down here a couple times. Like, thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I'd be nervous as could be. But, I still just like, I have my comfort zone, and I stay in my comfort zone, and I don't try and get out of my comfort zone very often. And maybe that's a problem. Like, maybe I should get out and drive and see the world more. I don't know. It's like a tough thing, because it's like, who is the world to tell me what I should be doing more of or not doing more of? If it makes me uncomfortable, then why do it? But like, to the same end, I get the idea. Like, you never grow as an individual if you never take any chances. I take plenty of chances in my own creativity, in my own creative world, and putting myself out
In
there
half a mile,
way.
take the Jefferson Street exit towards Stadium Drive.
All right, I'm looking for the Jefferson Street exit, everybody, towards Stadium Drive. Let's see here. It's in half a mile. I feel like I still got a little ways to go. If the image on my phone is anything. Stadium Drive. Oh, there's a sign that says Stadium Drive. All right, I think I'm getting close here. I think it's this guy.
Take the
right
Jefferson
here.
Street exit, then keep right at the fork.
All right, stay right at the fork. Gosh, I hate this town. This town is the worst.
Keep right at the fork.
Roads are like big old spaghetti roads. And, oh, there's a hospital sign, so I'm getting close to where I need to be.
Merge onto Jefferson Street, then slide right.
And then slight right? How slight of a right?
Slight right towards Stadium Boulevard, then turn right onto Stadium Boulevard.
Several rights here that I could potentially
Turn right onto
take.
Stadium Boulevard.
I'm working on it. You're stressing me out. All right. Man, if I ever had to like find this hospital, like if
In 1,000 feet,
my
turn left
wife
onto
was
Monroe Street.
if my wife was in labor, or if I was like had a broken everything, I don't think I would like to have to try and find this hospital. Like, jeezy Louisey. All right, I think I see it though. I think I see it, and I'm gonna need to turn left, I think. Ugh, I'm glad there's not too much
Take the
traffic
next
on the
left onto
road.
Monroe Street,
Yep.
then turn left.
All right, but I need to yield to traffic first, lady. And it's on a hill, so I can't see where I'm going. Ugh. If y'all ever have to travel to Jefferson City, just don't. Just don't. That's the moral of this story. But I think I have found
Take the next left, then
my
you will
way.
arrive at your destination.
Oh, and there's the emergency entrance, which is where we were looking for. Let's come up here somewhere, and I'm just gonna park my car and call for help. All right, I'm gonna turn you guys off.
You have
I'm gonna
arrived.
run into my business people here soon. Bye.